Hello, good evening, welcome. My name is Omindako. I want to share with you what I call break the poverty mindset. Break the poverty mindset. Mindset is everything that a man has had to make his decision out of. It determines our worldview, determines the way we see that which works and that which does not work. Our mindset is actually how we process the world that we live in. The world you live in is not the same world that another person lives in. The world we live in is the world that you have created in your mind. The world the other person lives in is the world that he or she has created with their mind. The mindset is a strong framework that we can always be certain that you're going to act in a particular way if or conditions are set like that, you know that this person will behave this way under this condition. They do that because of the mindset. One of the most dangerous mindset to have is a poverty mindset. The poverty mindset is not solved by the fact that somebody has money in their pocket. It's a mindset of lack. It's a mind. Hey Boris, welcome. It's a mindset of competition. It's a mindset of looking at life not from a boundar's point of view, but as you look at life from shortage. That's the mindset. That's the poverty mindset. And if you're going to achieve your dream, you would want to break that. Most of us were brought up in families, in backgrounds, in villages, in countries where all that we saw was poverty, or a little bit above poverty. Usually when people say that poor, they think of the guy who is living in the kiosk who has nothing to eat. That's what we think is poverty. But the mindset of poverty goes beyond this what is in your pocket. Somebody might have 10 houses and a car or cars and still be poor because of the way they behave, because of the way they act. If you can see they say that somebody is rich, they say he's rich. But when you get close, you see that the person is not rich. He only has some material things. So you can see that the way they treat the house help. If you are rich and they see, let's say, people you work with, it will show not only in the way they dress, but in the way they see themselves. So poverty mindset will program you to be so much afraid of lack, to be so much afraid of not having enough, to be so much afraid of somebody living better than you. Poverty mindset is what makes people steal because they think that it's not going to be there. So now that they have it, they must steal from it. Poverty mindset is that which will make you start a business and you are making some bit of profit. If you're poor, you will say that, listen, or if you have the mindset of a poor person, you will say that, now that I've started to make some money, I can't rent. I have to go and build my own house. If you are poor in the thinking, if you're poor, if your mindset is poor, you value what somebody else drives. You see somebody driving. The other day, I was driving through the traffic, and I saw this gentleman who was selling on the street, and there was this guy who was driving Mercedes Benz. And the way the man who was selling in the street, the way he looked at the Mercedes Benz, the way he was talking about it, and the way he was like, why do you look at a car like that? As somebody who thinks that the fact that somebody has a car means he's rich. So you may have to break that because it can limit the extent to which you go with your vision and your dreams. And If you are from such background, which I dare say that almost all of us are coming from this kind of mindset, this kind of background, this kind of poverty mindset. So we don't look at life from enough, from the abundance. A lot of us are in competition with friends, with families, with even strangers. Some people are married and they are competition with each other. Their competition with the career promotions that they get, their competition with how much they save. If you are in competition with material things, it means you are poor. The people who have overcome the poverty mindset are not in competition with anybody. They live their life on their terms. They live their life in their dreams. They live their life. They are patient to build their dreams. They have discipline and they can delay uh, gratification to a large extent. So the immediate self gratification, they can easily work on that because they are not in competition with anybody. The poverty mindset is the one that you want to, there's any special occasion, like most people, they don't have money, but they want to organize every birthday party and they want to organize it to beat their colleague. So they are 30 years, they want to throw big birthday party, yet they are struggling. They don't even have a year's savings or 6 months savings or even a month savings, but they are the ones buying tickets. They want to go to Dubai, they want to go to America for every holiday, but they don't have enough. Because if you are driven by poverty or when your mindset is poor, you want to do everything to let people understand or to let people know that you are rich. Those who are very rich, those who have that abundance mindset, prosperity mindset, they are not the ones who are eager to impress you. You can meet them. They are the ones when, let's say, he has maybe 2,000, and the other day he had this business and he had 100,000 coming. If he's not poor, if he has overcome that 100,000 is not going to change his mindset or the way you will look at him. When you see him with money, you won't see, even though he has had enough coming in. You won't see. Those who are prosperity driven or prosperity or wealth creation mindset, they are always looking at adding value, creating more revenues, creating more sources of income, building into financial independence. The other people, the poverty mindset people, whatever that they make, they want to quickly let you know that they have made something. So they are the ones building big houses, 10-bedroom houses, 20-bedroom houses, and they are building it with salary. Salary. They are building that with salary. It means that it has to be, but there was a break, there was an opening in the background. When they were growing up, they didn't have enough, and they have not overcome that. So now that they have some kind of money, they must imprint on people, they must establish, they must let people understand that they have arrived, they have reached somewhere. So you would want to see that in the house that they live in. You would want to see that, they would want you to see that in the cars that they drive, the clothes that they wear, and yet they have nothing saved for their future. They have nothing invested anywhere. They are not building financial independence, financial freedom. They are building their life around one source of income. Yet when you meet them, if you are not careful, you think that this person has a lot of money. It's because there is a break from the background. Where they are coming from, they didn't have enough. So now that they even have a job, now that they look like they're not poor, they're still poor. They're still poor because anything that comes to their hands in terms of money does not stay. Money comes to them and it cannot stay because they have to let people know that they have arrived. That's a poverty mindset. And majority of people have that. Majority of people have that. You see the other time the guy didn't have enough. He had no job. Now he has a job. So, now he has a job. He will change his apartment. He will change his friends. He will change his car. He will change his clothes. He will change his watch. The thing is that he will never even buy books, he will never even read, he will never even invest in a business or in an investment somewhere because he's poor. He has to let you know that he has made something. That's a poor man's mindset. You cannot be great with your dreams and your aspirations, especially if you want to build a business or something like that, when you carry that mindset with you. There are some people too who will not spend so much, but they also keep everything. They hold on to something so much that they will not release it to get more. There are people like that because he is afraid of living, he's afraid of lack. So once he's afraid of lack, anything that he gets, it's only for him. He saves it for himself. He doesn't use it to build. Let's say you want 10,000, or let's say you want 20,000. You're saving to get 20,000. When you get 20,000, that's not the dream. Your dream is to get to maybe 10 million, 20 million, 50 million. So when you get the 20,000, the essence of you saving all this to get 20,000 is to find out how do I make sure that this 20,000 can get me into a million. Now, if you're poor, that 20,000, you will hold on to it, put it in treasure. Lady told me that it's treasure bills, put it in treasure bills, keep it there, and yet his business is suffering, but he will hold on to that money. There are people who are doing businesses, they have 1 or 2 cars, they have a house, the business is in trouble everywhere, they owe everywhere, but they will not let any one thing that they can sell easily to make sure that their financial situation is lessened. They will never do that because for them, for the poor man, he thinks that once he sells his property, it means that he's poor. It means that he's going through a lot of things. And the poor man is so much worried about what people think. That's a poverty mindset. So much worried about what other person is thinking of them in terms of, hey, they are going through financial stress or they are going through financial difficulty. The poor person is always thinking like that. He's thinking that you are poor. You're already poor. So why are you worried that some people think that you're poor? They know that you're poor. So when you're doing business and you have something, you are in a critical situation. Maybe there is debt somewhere, there is a problem somewhere, there are so many things, and you have property, so you have something that you can sell to put the money back into the business. You have to do it. You have to do it. If you do that, if you hold on, because the poverty mindset will make you hold on, even if you're losing, you are drowning, but you still don't want the man who is rich is always thinking of what can I do to leverage? What can I do to grow? What can I do to expand? What can I do to do more? What can I do to get more employees? What can I do to grow the business? What can I do to expand? What can I do to get more? The prosperity mindset is not locked. They don't really see the difference between 10 million and 10,000. Those guys, nothing. A figure does not put fear in them. If somebody has overcome that kind of situation, no figure puts fear in him. If he sees you with 10,000, he's not scared. If he sees you with 20,000, yes, it's a figure. If he sees another person with 200 million, he's not disturbed. He may not have it, but he can process that. Listen, if I find way of doing my things rightly, if I'm able to build a business rightly, this figure I can get there. Even though he doesn't have it, that's somebody who has overcome the poverty mindset. He has a car, the next minute the car is broken down, he doesn't care getting into the throttle to go to get the business done. He doesn't care because he's not defining himself by the situation around him. That is somebody who has overcome the poverty because he's always looking at, I can do more if I'm able to build myself up. If you have overcome the poverty mindset, you are able to build systems and structures with patience, with diligence, with perseverance, because you know that it's the system or the structures that you're building, the machines that you're building, that will explode. When you're poor, you only invest in yourself. You only invest in not the things that will make you expand, but in, you want to buy a ring, you want to buy a car, you want to buy a nice shirt, suit, you want to buy a nice shoe. Those are the things that you spend your money in because you're poor. When you have overcome that, you want to invest in knowledge. You want to invest in systems. You want to invest in connecting with people who are going somewhere. So there is a shift. And you have to overcome that because if you don't, then your business that you're building, you're going to struggle. So when you see somebody who looks like rich, you are tamed because you are poor. You see yourself as poor. And it doesn't matter whether the person has a car or a house. Because most poor people with a poor mindset sometimes may look like rich, but they are very poor because they don't see the need of investing in people. Somebody who is poor doesn't see the need of investing in people. So he's doing the business, you see the people they employ, they always employ the people they can cheat. They always employ the people that they can control. They always employ the people who or what is it? Who look like helpless. That's what they believe in. Because they think that you can use money to control people. When somebody behaves like that, he's coming from a poor man's world. You would want to build a business to a situation where that guy who works with you may have millions, but would still want to work with you because of what you're made of, not because of what you can give them. That's somebody who has overcome the poverty mindset. So there are a lot of people who are bragging. When you meet people who are talking and talking themselves too high, and but when it comes to delivery, they are running away. It's a poor man who's talking. When you meet people and they are talking about somebody's car, somebody's house, somebody's dressing, that's a poor man's talking. When you meet somebody who has overcome that, they are talking about what is the next plan? What is the next strategy? What can we do to do more? What can we do to get more done? Which are the people you think are going where we are going that we can connect with? When you meet somebody who has overcome that, they talk of ideas, strategies, plans, products. They talk of what they can do to become better, or what they can do for more, what they can do to get their business out. That's what they're thinking of, and they are not scared. The poor man usually runs away from his debt. As a poor man, if you are poor in thinking and you owe, you run away. Or you lie, you cheat. You change your documents, you change your name. Because you're poor, you're hiding. The man who has overcome that is not scared of the mistakes that he has made in terms of finances and in building his business. And he solely believes that if he doesn't correct that, he's not going anywhere. So when you are poor, sometimes you hear people say that, oh, they went to the bank, they registered companies, they used forged documents, they took the loan, and they run away because they are poor in thinking. Their mindset is poor. The guy who believes that he will be wealthy is not doing that. He's not scared. He came for the money, he made mistakes, he will come back and say that I made a mistake, but I will pay. That's somebody who believes so much in his future and he knows that nothing can stop him from getting to the abundance. He has overcome that. He may sometimes you may look at people like that. Nobody from their background is even rich, but they have been able to tune that mind. They've been able to shift themselves from just thinking from lack, thinking of self, thinking of they don't let their background cripple them. As somebody who has overcome the poverty mindset. They are not scared like the way they used to give us advice that listen, ukokroma, ukokroma, make sure someone cook make sure someone will be in cutting because umami minibi. Those kind of advice where your mother is telling you be careful when you go through town. Because if you push somebody who's selling and they want their money, I don't have. These are the programming. So it's fear. The poverty mindset is making or meeting or facing life out of fear. And they are always thinking of not creating problems for themselves. They don't want problem. They don't want challenge. They don't want difficulty. They just want to be where they are. They want to be just some small. They want to have control of that which they can control. They don't want to expand beyond discomfort. They always want to be comfortable. That's a poor man's thinking. And sometimes they look, there's people we call, I don't know if you have some here, but the people they call middle class, the doctors, the lawyers, the judges, the engineers, the people who don't look poor, but don't have enough. They look rich, but it's only in their house and their car. Those kind of people who when they stop working, the next 3 months they will not have anything to eat. Those kind of people are poor. But nobody can tell us that they are poor because they look like they are rich. And they call them middle class. But all their decisions show that they are poor. Because they make a lot of decisions out of comfort. And they are the ones, who usually happen to become, the ministers, sometimes the presidents. And when somebody like that becomes a president, what does he do? They hedge all their decisions. They don't want to explode. The people who have overcome that, if they see an opportunity, they go after it. Come what may, they want to win. That's why people who are very, very rich, you see, most of them, they just there. You just say, okay, well, they are ready to die for the idea. They can say that, okay, let me try. If I win, I win. If I lose, no problem. At least I give it a shot. If you're coming from a poverty mindset, you will not say, you say that, okay, let me take a calculated risk. Because that's what they have put in the books. Calculated risk. There's nothing like calculated risk. It's risky. So if you want to win, then go in and win. Especially if you have nothing to lose. You are at home, you are not doing anything, and somebody brings a business idea, and you are saying, oh, my reputation is at stake, let me go and think about it. You have nothing doing. What are you going to think about? That's a poor man's thinking there. You've been at home for 3 months, 4 months, 6 years. You have not been doing anything. Somebody brings an idea, say, let's go and try it. You say, let me go and do the feasibility studies. 6 years you are without job. Somebody calls you to say, can we do this? You jump on board. You jump. Say, let's go and give it a try. You never know it will work. That's somebody who has overcome that limiting thinking. But the other guy who is looked up in it, he remembers what the mother told him. He will not dare. Say that, my reputation. You have a reputation, you don't have any reputation. You have been at home, everybody knows that you're not doing anything. So overcome that mindset, or you will be very much limited in your life. Be very limited in your little and pay, salary job. Be so much careful trying to try anything at all. When people are so much careful in daring, it's because they're coming from that mindset. They only live for themselves. They cannot explode. They cannot dare. They cannot try. All their decisions are hedged. Every decision they want to make sure that it will not fail before they make. It's a decision. It's no decision that cannot fail. So the most important thing is not the decision of failing. The most important thing is, are you equipped to deal with the mess if the decision should fail? These are the people. These are the people who have overcome the poverty mindset. So if you don't discuss it, look at it, challenge it, it can be with you for the rest of your life. You may not even know that you're locked there. The poverty mindset. You always thinking of, hey, if I lose all the money, what would I do? As a man who's poor, he's always looking at what his friend has bought. He's always looking at, hey, I'm late. I'm 30 years. I have no wife. I have no children. I'm not married. It's a poor man's thinking. He's locked up in that. When you have overcome that, you challenge yourself with your dream. And you don't set the limit with your dream. And nothing can stop you from becoming hugely successful because you have broken that, you have overcome that thought pattern. Because it's a mindset, and mindset is a stronghold. The mindset that you have is responsible for everything that you're doing now. So if it's poor one, you are going to go slowly and carefully, and you don't want any trouble for yourself. And if you try to take that into business, you struggle a lot. Your business will just do bit little. You will just have a job for yourself. You employ just 1, 2, 3 people, and you become so wise and intelligent with your decisions making, but you're not growing because you don't want to challenge yourself. You don't want to explode. What is responsible for that is because you have a poverty mindset. You may think that you're intelligent and wise, and you think that you're collected. You think that you're very much precise with your decisions, but life was meant to explode. So let yourself go. Let yourself go and try to become that which you so desire to become. And don't hedge life so much, because that's the poverty that they put in us. You're careful. Be careful. You don't dare. You're careful. You're always within your, anybody at all can predict you because you. This is it. This is it. Me, I can't put in more than 3 CD in this business. No, you want to go for millions. You don't say that, oh, if I'm able to get 100,000, then that is it. Getting 100,000 is nothing. People who are wealthy, who are rich, they're not talking of thousands, they're talking of millions. 50, 100, 200, 300, 500. Those are the figures that they look at. Now, it's not impossible for all of us to be there, but it has to start with the way you look. If you so much believe that 100,000 is all that you would have all your life, and it's a strange figure for you, it will be very difficult. Not impossible, but it will be very difficult for you to get into the hundreds of millions. And people who have gotten there did not get there by thinking limited and thinking poor. They have very expanded mindset. And they know that nothing can stop them. They know. That's why they got there. So you can see that they look at life from a very, when you read their books, when you talk to them, when you meet people like that, no situation is damaging for them. People who have overcome the poverty mindset. No situation is damaging for them. And no figure are they afraid of. They're never scared of any figure. And they are able to have the confidence that they can also get to those numbers if they work enough and if they dare enough. So you have to work on that yourself. Know that there is something that exists that they call poverty mindset. And if you have it, you hedge too much, you are careful, you over worried, you are stressful, you compete at a personal level. You are not structural in thinking. You look at people as commodity, as you're poor. And you're very comfortable with working with the poor. So that they will think that at least the little you are far more richer than all of them. When you have broken that, you want to get to where the people with the numbers are, so that you feel like no, you have not done enough. And the country that we come from, a lot of people are very satisfied with very little achievement because they have the poverty mindset. So they want to be praised for the little achievement. They want to be praised for the little that they have done. They want to be called Nana, they want to be called Chief, they want to be called Boss, they want to be hailed for achieving very little because they are coming from that kind of background. Or very little is huge achievement for us. When you have crossed that, nothing is satisfied. You are not content. You appreciate the level that you have reached, but you are always on the going. You are always looking at you can do more, you can expand more, you can go more, you can expand. When you're poor in thinking, when your mindset is poor, you are careful of people. So much worried about what people think. When somebody is so much worried about what people think of them, they are locked up in poverty. The guys who don't care what people think, who are daring to go after their dreams, they are not poor in thinking. They are not limited. They are not happy to do wrong things. No, they don't want to do that. But if it has to do with their dreams and their goals, what you think of them doesn't mean anything. So if you let this culture that we have, particularly in Ghana, the culture of trying to conform, the culture of trying to be like everybody else, the culture of towing the path that everybody else is taking, the culture of taking the step that is known, that's a poor mindset. And you have to overcome that. We all have to overcome that. So look at life from where the other guys are looking at life. They think that they don't think that money will ever get finished. And they don't think that the fact that the other person is rich would mean that they are not going to be rich. No. They think that you can create wealth with, or they think, the one who has overcome this thinks that any little idea that he has, he can create abundance with it. That's somebody who has overcome the poverty. And they think of building a business around every profession that they have, because they can expand, or building an instrument around any profession that they have. So if there is a lawyer, he's thinking of, okay, I'm not just going to work for the salary and stay like that. I'm going to build a system, a structure around that. If I'm a mechanic, I'm looking at how can I build a business, an enterprise, something around it that can explode beyond me and keep going. If whatever they are, if I'm a nurse, what can I do? So whatever profession that they have, you can work with that profession for salary, which is one, or you can build a structure and a system around it and for it to explode. The people who have crossed from the poverty mindset to the other mindset look at systems and structures and what can explode. And they are never deterred of figures. So when they meet you and you say that you are rich, yes, you are rich, it's nice, but it's not like they feel like they're failure. When you're poor in thinking, when you meet somebody who is rich, you feel disturbed and discouraged. And you feel like you're late and your life amounts to nothing. Because when you're poor in thinking, you don't look within you for the gift and the talent and the expertise and the things that you can also build to become great, and to explode and to explore. And when you have overcome the poverty mindset, you think of what is it that I know, what is that I have that people can benefit. You don't hold on to it. You don't keep it as a secret. You want to share it. You want to share it with people. You want to say that this is what I know. How many people can it benefit? You want to share them. You don't keep the secret because you're not poor. You think that everybody deserves a better chance. Everybody can become great. You don't. When you're poor in thinking, you think that if somebody becomes great, it means that you have failed. No. When you have overcome that, you don't say that this is my secret. No. You share it because you think that everybody can become anything that they want to become, and that will not have any indictment on you as you being a failure. So it's a shift. It's a shift. There are a lot of people who work in places when they see somebody promoted, it means that they are failing. That means that they are poor in thinking. They have a poor man's mindset. When you have the other mindset, abundance mindset, you don't think that somebody being promoted or when somebody is promoted, it means that you are failing. No. You think that the only difference between you and you getting to your dream is you. Is you becoming better, becoming skilled, becoming more informed, more trained. That's the only thing. That's how the people think. That's why, you see, that's why, because of poverty mindset, that's why a lot of these people, now there are a lot of young men who are starting all kind of religious institutions, churches, taking advantage of people looking up to them for help. It's a poverty mindset for you to think that somebody else will have to pray for you to become rich. It's a poor man's attitude. It's a poor man's mindset for you to think that somebody else has the power to make you rich and you have nothing. It's a poor man's mindset. Because all the people that they are declaring that they will be rich, how many of them are rich? Indeed. Zero. Because when you want to create wealth, it's not magic. It's not somebody praying for you. It's a systemic thing. It's a structural thinking. So you want to look at it. The fact that you went for somebody to declare you rich before you become rich means that you're a poor man. You don't understand what it takes to make money. So you think that money is some magic somewhere that somebody has the power to give you. When you have crossed there and you want to create wealth, you don't think that you are limited in any way. It's a matter of knowing the right principles and applying them. That's somebody who has overcome poverty. Mindset. Poverty mindset. So you are not going to just, because you send money to somebody means that you're going to be rich. That's not true. That's a poor man's mindset. And those things really don't work. You've been doing that for the last 10 years. Are you a millionaire? Are you a billionaire? Those who are getting better around the world, those who are creating a lot of wealth, genuine money, doing ones, not the free ones, not the grant, not the stolen ones, the free ones. Go and look for them and see. There's always a product that you're building. There's always a system that you're building. There's always a service that you're they have instruments to prove that, listen, because of this, that's why this man has created this wealth. All the billionaires that they mention, when they mention their name, you can hear that this is the instrument they use. This is the instrument they use. This is the instrument they use. So what makes you think that you go somewhere and somebody will just pray for you without any instrument and you become rich? And And I wonder if a man has a poor mindset, what is richness to him anyway? For the poor man, a man with a poor man's mindset, poverty mindset, richness means having a house. Richness means buying a car. Richness means the children going to school in America or going to international school. That's the richness for them. Richness means they have a maid. Richness means they can go to Dubai for party. That's richness. To the man who is abundance in thinking, richness means structures, solving a lot of problems that people are paying. So their wealth is exponential, it's structural, it's systemic, it's beyond them. It has nothing to do with their house, their car, and even the shoes and those things that they wear. The poor man thinks in terms of wealth that way. But those who are really rich, they think of what problem that we are able to solve and that the world is ready to pay. There is a big difference in them. So overcome the poverty mindset. Don't work all your life trying to look for a house and a car. That's very limiting. And thinking that once you have a house and a car, it means that you are rich, you're successful. That's a poor man. That is a poor man mindset. Looking at building structures, building businesses, getting to the millions. That's the goal. Getting to the millions, getting to the 200 million, 500 million, a billion. That's the goal. That's you want to explode. So you're not looking at a house at Amasamai or Jeep. The way in a country, people who don't have any machine to create wealth will drive a Jeep, and people will think that they are rich. Where is the business? Where is the instrument that they're using to create this wealth? Nobody knows. They say that they are rich, and it's because we are poor. Because a lot of people think poorly. A lot of people have poor mindset. So when they see people like that, they easily associate it with wealth. When you are rich, when you have moved, when you see somebody with that, you want to know what machine are they using, what instrument do they use, what part do they take, what have they built, what have they structured, how many people have they employed, where is their investment, how many businesses have they invested in, what is the level of financial understanding, what is the level of investment, what are the technical skills that he has in terms of wealth creation. A lot of poor people never think like that. A lot of your friends will tell you, you see, Akosi has made it. Why? Because he has built a house. Has built a house, so he has become successful. Of course, it's because we are poor. The mindset is poor. When you meet the one who has overcome that, those are not the figures they are looking for. They are not looking at the house. They are not looking at a car. They are looking at building wealth. They're looking at billions. They're looking at figures that will shake you. Those are the guys who are building a lot. And so change your thinking. Build yourself beyond. The man with the poor man's mindset thinks that when they get a lot of certificates, they will be rich. As a poor man thinking right there. They think that once they do this course, they'll get a job and they'll pay him well. As a poor man's mindset. He thinks that he's poor because he doesn't have a degree. So once he gets the degree, he'll be rich. He's a poor man. Let him get the degree, then he will be looking for the masters. He said that, oh, no, even this masters in marketing is not good. Then go and do masters in IT. That's the poor man's thinking there. Then when he finishes, he says, let me do PhD. Then he does the PhD and says, no, now I even need a specialty. That's a poor man because he has no idea what it takes to create wealth. He has no idea. He's not been able to overcome that. And the poor people will also hail them like that. If you watch TV, you see a lot of them consultants, think tanks. They're talking, and they're talking about things that they have not practiced. They don't practice what they are talking about. They're talking about things that they only wrote paper on. They can only write an article, but they can do it. So start something. It will help you and get your mind open and explode it. And don't limit your thinking. Don't limit yourself to your family background to say that because my father was poor, I'll be poor. That's a poor mindset. Yes, you have a burden, you have a struggle trying to overcome that, but overcome that. Because your father was an independent man, just like you are independent. You are a different person from your father. They may have taught you some things, but it's a duty to overcome that limiting background. And so open your mind to abundance. Never ascribe to yourself that being because of my family, because of where I come from, because of my tribe, because of the level of education that I have, I will never be rich. Those are all not the case. There are people with all kind of situations who are exploding because it's a shift of mind. You must shift yourself to say that I can get there. And no figure is able to put fear in you. And the poor man, if a poor man owes, he wants to kill himself. He's dying. He can survive. But a rich man owes, he doesn't really care. He wants to solve it, but he can be killed by that. He's able to stay and deal with the problems and the situation. That's somebody who has overcome poverty mindset. He doesn't hold on to that which is dying because he believes that he can do more. He can start more. He's not afraid. If the business dies today, he can start another business. That's if somebody who has overcome. Like people are fighting with him over this thing. He said, no, that's okay. I can start more. I can do something different because he has overcome fighting with people over pettiness, over things that will not change the game. When you have overcome poverty mindset, you look at the information that you are getting every day and you separate them. You don't focus your life getting information that will not explode you. You focus on the information that will feed you to get your goals and explode and become better. So you're looking at finances, you're looking at team management, you're looking at creating the vision, making the product better, you're looking at creativity. Those are the things that you worry about. Those are the things that you think about because you know that the more better you become, the more better your systems and your structures and your business and everything becomes, and the more you can explode. And you never limit yourself that way. So overcome the poverty mindset. Overcome it, break it. Don't limit yourself like that. And don't identify yourself with material things that you have in the house or something like that, thinking that means that you are rich. You are not rich like that. You are actually poor. You are actually poor. You are actually poor. Don't compete with your friends. Don't compete with your siblings. If you see, if a poor man, if a man with a poor mindset sees another person doing well, they get very disturbed. They get competitive. They become jittery, combative, because they have a poor man's mindset. When you are not like that, you are not really disturbed. You're actually inspired, and you actually want to go and tell the person that listen, you are inspiring me about what you're doing, what you're achieving, and I want to learn from you. As somebody who has overcome that poor man's mindset. So behave like somebody who is not poor, who's open-minded, who thinks from abundance. That's how you can do more. So thank you very much for watching.